The year is 1992. Bill Clinton wins the presidential election. Quentin Tarantino releases his debut film, Reservoir Dogs, and the Evil Dead trilogy is completed. Rise in opiate overdoses strikes the country. And in North Carolina, a distinctly snake-like district is created. Or at least, would have been created. Now, gerrymandering is the practice of setting political boundaries for specific political interests. The term originated in a political cartoon titled The Gerrymander. The 14th Amendment is used as an argument against racial gerrymandering. The proposed district would have been the second of the majority-minority black majority districts. The appellant was Attorney General Reno, who was appointed by Bill Clinton, while the appellee was Ruth Shaw, who was a white member of this proposed district. Now, this proposed district, which I'm going to keep on using the same image for, by the way, was quite unique among the three other districts that were also proposed. It had basically nothing in common with everything it passed through, except for the fact that it passed through majority black neighborhoods. It was also 160 miles long. Now, after the General Assembly passed the 2nd District, a group of North Carolina voters, led by Ruth Shaw, protested against it, saying that it violated the 14th Amendment. Their claim was that this was racially inadequate and unfair. Shaw's main claim was that North Carolina had created a racial gerrymander, which was a violation of the 14th Amendment. Reno argued that this district was necessary in order to comply with the Voting Rights Act of 1965. In fact, Reno did not actually want to support this district. Eventually, the Supreme Court made their decision. 5-4, Shaw is the majority. Justice Sandra O'Connor wrote the majority ruling, stating that the drawn district was so bizarre that it could have only been drawn on the basis of race. Shaw stated, "Racial gerrymandering, even for remedial purposes, may balkanize us into competing racial factions. It threatens to carry us further from the goal of a political system in which race no longer matters, a goal that the 14th and 15th Amendments embody, and through which the nation continues to aspire." Shaw intended for the case to construct regulations on racial gerrymandering, but it turned out to not be as far-reaching as it was originally ruled. Shaw's biggest failure was failing to set clear criteria for racial gerrymandering, but it significantly influenced cases that were passed after it and impacted the future of voting rights forever. Shaw versus Reno made sure that new districts were under careful scrutiny under the Equal Protection Clause to prevent racial gerrymandering from happening in the future. While a lot of its interpretation is up to the judges themselves and their personal beliefs, it still has set the foundation for a future where everyone is truly equal and isn't separated based on political aspirations of others. Unfortunately, that future is still a long ways off. Of course, if we're being fair here, which almost nothing ever is, we should take a look at the dissenting opinions. These opinions were said by White, Blackman, Stevens, and Souter. White, Blackman, and Stevens argue that the Equal Protection Clause should only be applied to people who are historically discriminated against, which kind of goes against the terms of equal protection. Souter's basis of argument was that the district was drawn to help a minority group. All in all, this case is kind of hard to remember as part of the whole. Like, if you're taking the AP US Gov exam, this one might just kind of like slip past you because it's relatively obscure by Supreme Court cases. Like, you cannot find images of Ruth Shaw anywhere online. Believe me, I tried. But in order to remember it, I think it's best to remember the shape of the district. the snake in the Garden of Eden.
I hope the fences we mended fall down beneath their own weight, and I hope we hang on past the last exit. I hope it's already too late, and I hope the junkyard a few blocks from here someday burns down, and I hope the